Hello everyone and welcome into your daily card reading. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, and we're going to be taking a look at what all messages are coming through from God, Spirit, the Divine. As always, you can look in the description box below and see the jump ahead, like the timestamp to your specific grouping after I do the general read at the beginning. And as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. Don't try to force this scenario or this narrative onto your scenario if it isn't matching up. And also there's going to be some additional videos posting this week, so make sure to hit the like and subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those new videos come out. But let's go ahead and jump in and see what all is going on for you today in the universe. All right, we have our Page of Swords. We have our Ace of Cups in reverse, and we have our Nine of Wands. So I'll take a look at each one of these individually. So, all right, to start off with, we have our Page of Swords energy, which is kind of this like planning and curious and patient type of energy. This guy's starting to get a little bit ornery, but starting to get excited about something new. With our Page of Cups in reverse, though, there's a little bit of feeling like there's some blockages, maybe feeling a little bit of like unloved and this sense of like a lack of creativity going on as well. And then we also have our Nine of Wands. So this is going to be this resilience and this persistence. So it comes across, if I'm reading it, even though the Page of Swords was the first one that came out, going in this order, starting from over here. So there's this sense of feeling unloved and kind of this like lack of creativity. So you're kind of feeling like, and you've been staying in that situation, but you're starting to get wrong way. But you're You're starting to get curious. You're starting to plan, what would things look like if I made a change? So, and actually with this guy with the scissors, it's almost kind of like, what would happen if I cut the cords there? So it's a little bit of that, kid smiling too. So it's kind of like, all right, I'm tired of feeling this like unloved energy. And with the Nine of Wands, it's that resilience, like you've been doing it for a long time. So you're kind of used to it, but you're kind of getting tired of it. So there's a sense of planning. What would things look like if I made a change? So that's the overall energy for the whole collective. So now we're going to go sign grouping by sign grouping and see what additional messages are coming out for the individual groupings. Today we will start with our fire signs. So that is going to be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We had a couple cards flip. We have the Moon and Temperance. So the Moon is going to be that sense of like that there could be some deception or some trickery going on, something that's sort of happening below the surface or behind the scenes, whatever you want to use there. And you're becoming aware of it, and you're sitting in this level energy, like you're sitting in a balanced energy, almost more of that observer of, I see what's going on, I get it, but I'm going to sit in that energy a little bit longer, and I'm going to start planning what I'm going to do about it. So this is like if you're finding out today about that somebody's tried to manipulate you or trick you or lie to you or whatever, you acknowledge it, but you're not going to explode at them. Like you're not going to cause a big to-do. You're going to sit there in this balanced energy in a more calculated sense of, okay, I'm incorporating this into what I know, and I'm incorporating this into my planning for how I'm going to change my situation and improve it. It can also have a little bit to do with like whatever the lies are that you might be telling yourself. And so the lies that you've been telling yourself, that's with that persistence or whatever, that is kind of like, okay, what do I need to change about the lies I've been telling myself to get myself out of this situation? But I think it's that sense of not having a calm, easy truth that's causing you to plan, because we've got the reds and the red there. And so some of it's a matter of you get tired of having to manage situations. And I would say that in general for, for everyone, for all the signs. So since we're already into fire signs, I'll have to say it for each of them. But it's almost like, yes, you've had the ability to kind of push your way through and muscle your way through a situation if you've been feeling unloved and like there's this lack of creativity and just like the sense of loss and stuff like that. Yes, you can muscle through it, but why? I mean, it's one thing like, oh, hey, going through a really rough patch, so I need to just kind of stick it out. But if that's become kind of the everyday for you, at some point you have to ask yourself, why? Again, this life is not a prison sentence. All right, here we go. Lightworkers Oracle card. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Now, when we talk about true north, if you look at that in terms of North Node, which is about your life path, your mission, your purpose in this incarnation, North Node is currently sitting in Aries, which is a fire sign. So you're already doing it. Like in the 5D, you've already started to make some of these shifts and these adjustments, but now trying to push that 5D energy down to the 3D and trying to actually get it to play out in your life is where some of the struggle is, because your ego is getting in the way. Like when your soul is telling you, this is what I need to do, then the ego's like, yeah, but don't forget about this. What about this? What about this? How's that going to go? And then you start overthinking it. So this card is reminding you, don't overthink it. Like, keep following what is your life path and mission. Like, what are you here to do? Alrighty. Then we also have decide where you want to go. So that's kind of that same message here. And it's, this part is definitely lining up there. Decide where you want to go, because all of your decisions that you're making right now should support where it is that you want to go. If you're just waking up every day and saying, all right, universe, what do you think for today? What should we do? You're not really going to make very much traction, because usually, big ideas or changes in direction require more than just a passing thought of, that'd be interesting to do that. So you really do need to have some amount of planning that goes into it. So, alrighty. There was a jumper one, and then I'll pull another one as well. So, the jumper one was Lynx, keeper of secrets. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. So there's that one. Keeper of secrets, which is interesting because the moon is usually about lies and deceit and some secrets. And then you also have Goose, inner knowing. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry, you are blessed. Let yourself fly. So this is that inner knowing. And this is kind of going along here. Like, you're already on this path. Like, you know where you need to be going. But you have to decide, are you going to move forward with that? So that is the message that is coming through for our fire signs. Now let's move on to our earth signs, which is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What is coming through for earth signs for today? Judgment. So this is, you are coming towards the end of a lesson, or towards the end of a cycle. And now it's, I equate this to, this is the final exam in taking this class. Did you pass it? Did you fail it? Are you going to have to loop again? So it has to do with an awakening. So if it's something where you feel like you've been working towards it, maybe you do get to move on. Maybe you are getting that favorable judgment. But this is kind of that turning point in terms of being able to realize, like, hey, this is my lesson. And especially as it relates to, if you're feeling unloved and you keep sitting in that energy, it's like, why am I doing this? So your judgment card, if you're looking at it where you've acknowledged this and you're getting favorable judgment from the divine, from the universe, that's going to put you into this planning energy. where it's like, oh, okay, now I need to plan how to change a situation. All right, your light worker card, the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. So whenever you have particularly changes coming up in your life where, they might be, maybe it's something difficult. Maybe you're leaving a job that, doesn't really align with your values anymore, but you like your coworkers, or, like things that are difficult to leave, or difficult to change. Rely on your soul tribe, like call in your soul tribe to help you. All right. Their heart isn't in it anymore. So if this is a relationship where, you've been feeling unloved and you've been feeling like, there's just like this lack of good positive energy in the relationship. And so that's, this Ace of Cups. So sometimes that's about creative energy, but it's also just about like enjoyment and having good positive energy in the relationship, and it's just not there. And you've been sitting here in this Nine of Wands energy, like, all right, I'm just going to keep persisting. Their heart isn't in it anymore. So what do you do with that information? What are you going to do with it? In terms of what the Judgment card is, do you put your faith in the divine and faith in spirit, source, God, that says, you know what? All of your life experiences happen for a reason, and maybe it's just time that this relationship has run its course and it's done what it's going to do. So if their heart isn't in it anymore, your part of the judgment is, what do you do about that? Do you acknowledge it with grace and acceptance, or do you respond in this, I'll call it, there's this persistence and this resilience, like, I don't care if your heart's in it anymore, I'm going to try to strong arm you into staying. I'm going to try to guilt you into staying. I'm going to try to manipulate you. I'm going to cry a lot. I'm going to yell, whatever. Are you doing that? Because if that's the case, you're not really learning the lesson. So what you do, how you address the fact that their heart isn't in it anymore, I think that's going to be your judgment from the universe. Do you loop through another painful cycle, or is this your chance to up level and shift timelines into something more aligned with your soul? Swan, grace, you who glides across the water of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. So this is kind of that whole thing about, like with grace is, do you gracefully accept this, or do you, gracefully accept it and allow the universe to bring what it's supposed to be bringing? Or do you fight it and descend down into negative energies, some of those lower vibe energies? So, and the swan has that element as well of, like, sometimes swans are seen as twin flames. So it could be that if with this being the backdrop of what's going on, like, are you holding on to something that needs to be let go of because there could be something else that's trying to come in, but it can't come in until you learn your lesson. So that is what we have for our earth signs. Now let's move on to water signs, and that is going to be our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Strength. So, and that's kind of going with this. You have been exhibiting strength, trying to overcome these obstacles. We have this part matching up with this part in the middle. We've got this part over here matching up on the outside. So you've been very strong through this. But let's see. What else do they need to know about the situation that they're trying to be strong in? Oops. We have our Five of Cups. We have our Emperor in reverse, and we have our Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So there's, some instability and like too many choices. So the Five of Cups is about there's there's these choices and there's this sadness. So, so I guess not too many choices, but there's the sadness of, oh my gosh, look at the cups that have spilled. And the Emperor in reverse is a little bit of that, you know, wounded masculine type of energy. So it's like you're staying strong, even though there's all of this loss. But I think as we look at the rest of it, you know, with the, I think it's probably that you've been being strong for too long, but that energy is still there. Like, I have to keep doing this. I have to keep doing this. Let's see, what else do we have? Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. So that, you know, you need to take some time to figure out what exactly it is that you're wanting. So have that retreat. Allow yourself to be held, whether it's, you know, finding comfort in like a home or finding comfort in nature, but allow yourself to feel like you're being held and like somebody, you can count on somebody else, and that might be your soul tribe. Or if this is related to a job, maybe allow your partner to help shoulder some of this burden. Release your need to control the situation. So, so this is kind of coming across like for water signs as being more related to like a job situation or something financial versus being related to a relationship. So it's almost like allow yourself to have, you know, fall back into your relationship while you figure out what is going on from a career job type of standpoint. So with it having the Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Emperor energy with the strength, it kind of, it feels more like this is job related for water signs. And we have Lion, higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and for your tribe. So this is kind of, I would say, you know, you have a higher calling. So whatever's going on with work, that's not your highest calling. Like, you might be really good at that job. Maybe you even kind of enjoy it, but it's not, something about it isn't matching up. Maybe it's, you know, the values for the people that you're working with or the customers or clients or the type of work you're doing. It's just, it's not leaving you fulfilled. But, you know, especially with the two lions together, and make noble choices for your life and for your tribe. It's a matter of maybe walking away from something that's very lucrative and it pays well, but you're just not, you know, if you're a lawyer at some high power firm, but you don't really like the type of clients that you're working with, maybe you're being called to help, you know, like to be a public defender, or, you know, to help do a lot of pro bono cases, or, you know, something like that, where it's going to be a big change for your family, but you just don't really want to do the other type of work you've been doing. All right, last but not least, we have our air signs. Let's see what's coming through for you. The Lovers. So this is about, you know, letting go of whatever has been in that field of making you feel like unloved or uncreative, and moving forward in a direction of love. So planning things with love as the guiding force behind it. So the Lovers is also, you know, Gemini, so air signs. This is Gemini. It's also about communication, and it's also about decision. So within the context, you know, for water signs, I was saying it was reading that it was a job situation. This is definitely reading that it's a romantic situation, but something, whatever it is that's making you feel unloved, if it's within a certain scenario, you know, maybe it's a certain part of your relationship that's making you feel unloved, and you're planning, okay, how do we move past that? How do we get out of that rut? And let's see what other messages come through. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So look at the way, and I think this is a message for divine feminine. So in this card, you know, the feminine is, I can't remember her name, but so that pink that she's wearing, and the color doesn't necessarily come through all that great here, but it's really, it's drawing in a lot with this. So it's about that, you're getting an energetic upgrade, divine feminine. And there's going to be a new way of being within, I guess, within this relationship, and working on how do you integrate that new way of being into your relationship. And that's what the planning part is about, is how do you integrate that? How do you move forward? And if you're doing that, you won't have to repeat this lesson. So take those cues, take those upgrades, those signs. Since that one jumped, I'll pull this one as well. That tower is protecting you. So if there's something that has to go, like, not all towers are bad towers. So sometimes there's that sense of, oh my gosh, the tower, this is terrible, this is terrible. But something is falling away within, whatever it is over here that was making you unhappy is falling away. But I think some of the planning that you're needing to do, in this like curiosity and, hey, what could this look like? It's kind of like this, what could this look like on the other side of this tower? So I'm reading it optimistically, or that things are good, like that you won't have to repeat this lesson, because something is changing within this dynamic that's going to bring in this positive, happy lovers energy, balancing, and some of it is balancing of the masculine and feminine. Ladybug, good luck. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. So, and that goes really well here, color scheme wise, with this tower. So something is changing for the positive in this relationship. So like I said, even though the tower came out, it's not reading as this is going away. Excuse me. But there's some aspect, whatever aspect has been causing this Ace of Cups in reverse energy, that is what is going away. So I hope you found today's message to be helpful. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.